Welcome back to the channel for my second Q&A spicy edition. So, this is normally a segment for Nook Fears, but being the Gemini that I am, I think it's best that for this segment, I let one of my alter egos take over. Let me introduce you to James. And for those who don't know who James is, hello. For those who do know who James is, hello. So, today we're going to do spicy Q&A. I'm going to read questions that were sent to me from Instagram, from you guys wanting to be nosy all up in my business. But you know what? I'm going to give you the tea because that's what you want. As you can see, I'm a bit different from Nook. Got a lot more swagger to me, a lot more confidence to me. You know, something he could never be, but it is what it is. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help him. So I appreciate y'all sending in these questions. I'm gonna do my best to articulate myself for you guys and gals. So let's get to the questions. Let's see what I want to start with. Y'all send me some good ones too. I appreciate y'all. So we're gonna start with, am I a giver or a receiver? Well, that's an easy one for me. I'm a giver. I'm a pleasurer, a lover. That's what I do. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to receive too. It's more of a 70-30 thing for me. 70% I prefer to give, 30% I love to receive. Now, if you got yourself a master at what they do, of course, receiving is a beautiful thing. Once you got yourself a headmaster, I can't go wrong with that. But if you're asking me, it's all about the woman, making sure she's satisfied, making sure she gets what she needs. So I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to handle my business. You know what I'm saying? Good question, though. Good question. Next question. Who would be my celebrity hall pass? See, now that's a tough one for me because I have two. I feel like there's two types of things you can have, two types of sex you can have. You can have that real freak nasty, and if it's about that real freak nasty, then I'll have to go with Lotto. That's my baby. You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for something a little more romantic, a little more intimate, a little more subtle, then I'd have to go with Samantha Logan. And if you don't know who Samantha Logan is, do your research, because you should. And that's a hard pick. You give me one hall pass one night, do I take Lotto? Do I take Samantha? And I know most of y'all, it would be an easy pick. Go Lotto, right? How could you not? But like I said, I'm a lover. So because of that, if I had to pick, I'm going to go with Samantha. And before y'all judge me, please go research Samantha Logan and you'll understand why I would choose that woman. Flawless. What else we got in here? This is an interesting one, actually. Do men like their G-spot played with? Well, if you ask a gay man, absolutely. But I'm assuming this is for straight men. Do straight men like their G-spot played with? I think it depends on the man. I think it all depends on how freaky your man is. See, more traditional macho man will be like, nah, you ain't touching that. Which, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's a weird feeling, I assume. But we're living in an age where experimentation is necessary. Experimentation is acceptable. And you might get you one that might want to try something different. And it's okay. That's your cup of tea. No judgment. No judgment at all. We're all grown here. At least we should be if you're watching this. So I'm going to say yes. Certain men do like that G-spot play with. Now, I'm assuming you asking this because either you tried or you want to try. And if you did try, how was it? And if you haven't tried it but you want to try it, how do you approach that exactly? Do you just do it or do you ask? Try it and see, I guess. Let me know how it go. Tips on how to last longer in bed. Well, ladies, if you got you a man that's a quick pumper, a minute man, an early riser and early finisher, that's tough because 9 times out of 10, that's just naturally who he is, what he does. The main tip I can give that could possibly help salvage some time would be to practice edging. Fellas, if you don't know what edging is, it is self-pleasuring of yourself. But right before you climax, when you feel yourself about to burst, you stop. Stop yourself, take a break, take a minute, start over. And then you keep going. And you edge as many times as you need to. That's a muscle. So basically, this is muscle memory. Just like anything else, you have to practice. So if you want to last longer, you have to practice stopping yourself from releasing. And then you can use this technique in bed. And ladies, please don't be judgmental or ashamed of your man if he needs to stop in between pumps to get it right. Fellas, don't be afraid to stop. If you need to stop because you want to prolong the activity, stop. Do what you got to do. Recuperate, recover. See, women don't understand. All the pressure is on us. We have to do most of the work anyway. They don't know what it feels like to be on the giving end of the action. So if you need to take the time to recuperate and recover, you do that. Don't worry about what she think. Because once you get yourself together, finish her, Mortal Kombat style. Trust me. Practice edging. That's my tip for how to last longer in bed. Here we go. Have I ever had a threesome? Unfortunately, no, I have not. Unfortunately, no, I have not. There has been maybe an opportunity or two that has presented itself my way. But I'm not someone who is going to engage in those type of horizontal activities if I'm not completely comfortable with who all is in the room. So even though there may have been an opportunity to me to engage in such activity, I could not take it based on the personnel that was provided. But I'm not against it. I'm explorative and I'm perfectly open as while I'm single. Let's throw that out there to try something like that. It's pretty basic, pretty typical in today's world. But no, I have not been able to cross that off my list yet. Hopefully, maybe in the future I will. But that remains to be seen. But you know what? We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. Stay tuned. We'll get there. How important is foreplay? Well, for me, clearly, it's everything. You don't just start a car up in the winter and take off. You got to warm that engine up. That's what foreplay is. You got to warm her engine up, fellas. See, too many of y'all are so anxious and eager to just dive right in to the deep end. You don't realize that you need to get in the kiddie pool first and doggy paddle your way to the deep end. If you got you a woman who's a super soaker, who's a water well, who's a faucet, You need to warm that up. You need to warm up to that. Foreplay is very essential to intimacy. Now, if you're just looking for a quick tag 'em and bag 'em, a quick bang and slang, then no, foreplay is not for you. But if you actually want to satisfy your partner, you need to get in there and warm that thing up first. Warm that engine up before you drive it off. So for me, foreplay is essential. I love it. It gets me going. It's provocative. I'm all about it. Type of porn do I watch? Well, that's interesting that you would automatically assume that I just watch porn. But I do have a Twitter, or X as it's now called, and that's kind of where all the explicit content is nowadays. So it does come across my timeline. What do I like to watch? I'm a role play guy. I'm a big role play guy. Dress up, have a little scene, have a script, some audio. Get into character. Take me there. Take me to that scene. Take me to that moment. Allow me to feel like I'm in that moment, or I could be that character. Interracial. Love is love. I'm all about that black on white, brown on white, chocolate, I'm all about mixing it up. It's the visual of it. But don't get me wrong, I still love my ebony section. The chocolate queens of all shades. Dark, caramel, light. You could throw some amateur and some homemade in there. Some POV, Some just regular people. You know what I'm saying? Doing regular stuff. It's okay that's studying. You have to know the basics before you can go to the extreme. And the amateur and POV and homemade, those are just people who are just doing the basics. You gotta learn. You gotta study. What else you got? I don't know. I'm pretty much I'm open to most genres. I'm open to most genres. DP, stuff like that. I mean, it's a wide range of things. There's so many things you can watch. So it's not like one particular section that I'm just browsing through. It's one of those things, how when you go on there and you literally got to scroll through pages to find the right video. That's kind of what it is for me. You have to go through there and you have to just find the perfect video. Even if you're on page 20. Just go through and find it. It's there somewhere. You'll get there. What is my hot spot? Oof. Well, my hot spot, I would say, is probably my ears and my neck. Those are the two most sensitive parts on me when it comes to getting hot. So if you want to get me going, you got to get up in my ear. You got to get me on my neck. That's where my spots are. You get those. You got me. You got me. But you gotta be a kisser. Like, there are women out here that don't like to kiss. Like, if you're not gonna kiss on my neck, kiss on my ear, and all that stuff, I don't know how we gonna get this thing popping. I need that. I need the lips. If you got the lips, I need the lips. And it be the ones with the lips that don't be wanting to use the lips. Use those lips. Use them. That's what they're there for. Use those lips. Let's see what we got. My most embarrassing moment in bed. Well, as James, I don't have one. But I'm speaking for Nook tonight, and he does have one. His most embarrassing moment in bed is just simply not being able to form during the most important time for him to perform. You ever had that one opportunity where you just needed to hit a home run? I pride myself on being a big talker, but I know I can walk it. I know I can walk it. I can talk the talk. I can walk it walk. I can back it up. But there comes a time, and every great man goes through this, where it's really time for him to back it up. Really time for him to put on his grade A best performance of his life. And he disappoints. He can't do it. There was a moment where my mind was all in it, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for this moment to happen. All my life I had to fight for this moment. But my body would not respond. It failed me during the most important session of my life. And you know it's bad when you have to apologize after. Anytime you don't, with women, there's a list. You're either on the, he was good, he was great, he was phenomenal, he's the best. Or you're on the other side of it, he was trash, he was sorry, he couldn't satisfy me. You don't want to be on that side of the list. You feel me? And unfortunately for me, I had that moment. In the worst moment that I could possibly have it in. And I had to apologize for it. And most times when you sling out some bad meat, you don't get another opportunity. Now, granted, some will give you a chance to redeem yourself. And for those who get a chance to redeem themselves, congratulations. I envy you. And other times, you only get one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. And it never happens again. And you have to live with that. You have to eat that. Now, for me, I've become accepting of the fact that happened. And it was a learning experience. And I have accepted that that's the performance that I put on. But to this day, it still irks my nerves. It still bothers me. It still eats at me that I'm not on the right side of that list. But this goes to show you that it starts up here in the mental. Performance anxiety is a real thing. But you know what? I learned when that happened that it really mattered to me. I learned that satisfying is really important to me. I learned that this person was really important to me, to the fact that I was so into my head that I couldn't be the best that I could be when I know that I can do better than what I did. To my knowledge, I have a great track record. There's always room for improvement, but I know what I'm capable of. And I was not capable of doing it in that moment. Performance anxiety. Too into my head. Couldn't get out of my own way. And all you can do is hope that you get an opportunity to redeem that, to run it back. And if it don't happen, well, you're stuck with that embarrassing moment. It is what it is. It happens. And once again, I apologize to this person. that was not indicative of who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm sorry. Next question. Do I have any sex tapes? Used to. I don't have them anymore. I dished them. Well, I don't. Let me say this. I don't have any more tapes with me and the other person that I made those tapes with. Those are long gone into the abyss. They're no longer in the cloud. They're gone. Do I have any videos of myself? Maybe. Oh, man. Wow. How many inches are you working with? See, that's a crazy question because I don't think women realize that men just don't have a tape measure and just are just measuring their Johnson. So if you're looking for an inch number, I don't really have an exact number for you, but what I can say is I haven't had any complaints in that department. That helps. I have been told and shown that I am a satisfactory size. I'm not lagging, so, but I can't give you an exact number. Would you join a couple? See, if you're talking about being a third as far as like dating, no, that's not my lifestyle. I'm not doing that. But if you're talking about what if a couple approached me to join them in the bedroom for a night, in the past I wasn't very open to that idea, but recently, over recent times, I have become more open to the idea, the thought of possibly doing that, depending on the people and depending on the guidelines. See, that's the thing about it. It's one thing to be approached by a couple to do that. And then, but it's like, okay, well, what are the parameters of that? Because it really depends on what they're into, what you're allowed to do. Um, I think if I'm going to do that, there's going to have to be some rules or some guidelines, and we're going to have to discuss that beforehand. And like I said, it depends on the people that approach you. Cause me, if I'm joining a couple, I'm joining for the woman. I'm there to satisfy the woman. So if I'm feeling her, the vibe is right, I just may do it. But you gotta ask. I'm not just gonna volunteer myself into anybody's bedroom. That's not happening. But if you wanna spice things up for a night, let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. Oh, this is a good one. Describe a sexual fantasy. Uh, okay, so don't judge me, or do, I don't care. So I have this thing, and it's purely fantasy, because in the real world, in real life, it gets tricky. But I have this fantasy, and for the record, we're assuming that everybody is clean, right? But I have this fantasy that there's a woman that's in a relationship who is with a man who is either not sexually explorative or he just can't satisfy her in bed. And she hits me up one night talking about, can we talk? And me being the listening ear that I am, I'm like, sure, yeah, you come over, let's talk. And she comes over, and in my fantasy, it's raining. It's bad weather. It's raining. So she shows up with an umbrella and that famous trench coat. But me, knowing that she's in a relationship and has a man, I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking because of the bad weather, she's just covered up. So she comes in. She sits down. She starts to tell me about what's going on. And I'm listening. And I'm giving advice. I'm telling her what she should try, what she should do. But she tells me, I just wish I had a man that could satisfy me. I wish I had a man like you that could satisfy me. And me, I take a deep breath because I'm in such shock that she said this to me. And me knowing she has a partner, see, in real life, I don't try to mess with that because in real life, men don't play about their girls. And you mess with the wrong girl who dude don't play about her, those could have fatal consequences. So if we talking strictly fantasy, you throw that scenario out the window. So in the fantasy, she says that, and I'm not worried about her dude popping off or nothing. So when she says, I wish I had a man like you that could satisfy me, and she opens the trench coat, and she's in this sexy lingerie, and she gets up, and she walks towards me, and she's in front of me. She takes her hand, she touches herself, 2 fingers. And then she takes those 2 fingers and she puts them in my mouth, giving me a taste. Now, you know how you walk into a store and they have that sample cart? You get a little taste of that sample, let you know if you want to buy the whole thing. So I get that sample and it's delicious. Now I got to have it. Now, I ain't no home wrecker, but we talking fantasy. She look good. I want her. She tastes good. I need her. After she do that, it's on. I take her to the room and I handle my business. Now, I'm not going to describe into detail what I do. It's too much for YouTube. Got to keep it clean as possible. But let's just say the things that she said she wanted to try with her man that he wasn't open to, let's just say I was open to it. And let's just say we did those things. And I give her the best O of her life. And she knows she needs to get back home, but her legs are too weak to move. She's so defeated, conquered, that she just needs to spend the night. And when she wakes up in the morning, the next morning, she lets me know that she really don't want to leave. Because I gave her everything she ever wanted and more. And that her man could never do it like me. That's my fantasy. All right. We're going to move it on down to what looks to be the last question. Last question is, do you use toys? Why, yes. Yes, I do. Let me show you a few of them, actually. So, you got your standard handcuffs. I get you in these, you ain't going nowhere. You in my control. I got you. Trust me. You want me to put you in these. Paddle. For a little booty smacking. You been a bad girl. Come to the principal's office. We paddle over here. Blindfold. Take away one sense, all the other senses are enhanced. So I take away your sight, your touch is greatly enhanced. I got you. A whip. Pow! Come here. Need I say less? And for the last item, before I show you, let me add something to this video. Let me tell you about the devil hands experience. Ladies, I'm about to put you up on some free game. Fellas, I'm about to try to help you out here. The devil hands experience is an experience where you put that blindfold on your man. You can use the handcuffs on him too if you need to. But this is pleasure for him. So you grab yourself some lube. You can use lotion if you want to, but preferably lube would be better. You take your lube, you take your hands, while he's blindfolded, handcuffed, restrained, whatever the case may be. And you in control, ladies. You have complete control. You stroke him. Slowly. And then in rhythm. And you can switch it up. Use different techniques, but you use those hands and you do what you need to do. You know how you want to start a fire in the woods? Like that, but more in a more scintillating way. I guarantee you, that's exactly what you need to do in the bedroom to please your man. Fellas, ask for the devil hands experience. If you trust your woman, put your trust in her hands literally. And ladies, give your man the experience of a lifetime. You can use your hands, but also, if you don't want to use your hands, or if you're using your hands and you want to include something, then for the last toy that I have, you can use the Melrose. That's right, ladies. You're not the only ones who have one. Men, get yourself the Melrose. Ladies, get your man the Melrose from melrose.com. This thing right here, multiple speeds. Put your lube in there, put it on your man, and watch him fold like a lawn chair. Trust me, ladies, you need this. Trust me, fellas, you need this. Once again, melrose.com. Go get you one. That is all y'all had for me. And that is all I have for you. I appreciate y'all being interactive on this rambunctious edition of Spicy Q&A with James. For more content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to know when I post. That's it for me, ladies. If you want to know anything more, follow me on my OnlyFans. I'm just kidding, I don't have one. But if you do want to know more, come dance with the devil. I'm out.